return to one of the weapons that Scollard's got back there returning.
And Scollard Hall, like you said, has so many weapons. You talk about Spencer Brooks, Jordan Bodwin, you got Jeremy Poeta and Andrew Bedard. I mean, which of those guys do you think will stand out most today?
Well, normally you'd think that the speed of Scollard is what they're going to go with. So if you look at the size of some of these St. Benedict players, you think if I was calling the offense, I'd probably want to string them out, go wide. So I expect to see a lot or a heavy dose of Spencer as well as Poeta.
Well, those two guys were pretty much shut down against Westfield, and here's the first play of the game. It looks like it's handed off, and it's stopped near the 40. That looks like Brooks on the carry there. Of course, we talk about a lot of he had a broken collarbone 1 year ago, so this was really a redemption year, and he came up big in a lot of cases for Scollard Hall.
Oh, he's just been absolutely huge. I mean, he's a super track star, so it's just easy for him to make the transition and use that speed in this game now.
It's going to be second and about 7, it looks like. Ball at the 40. That's Eric Rayner who hands it off and taken down near the 45. That is Bedard on the carry. Again, one of the main cogs in this Scollard Hall offensive machine. Let's see exactly where they place the ball. It's looking like it's going to be right near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and one of the things that you got to take into account now, it's a big change for Scollard, is it's 4-down football now that they're into the NDA playoffs, or NOSSA playoffs, sorry.
Something that they haven't had to deal with before. Maybe it'll be beneficial to them. There's the pitch outside, and he's got room to run. That's Spencer Brooks. He gets tackled near the 50. That's actually Sudbury 50. Oh, it looks like it's turned over. Sudbury is pointing the other way, and it looks like Spencer Brooks may have given up the ball here. We'll see. Wait for the official call. But it's right in the Sudbury territory, and one of the referees is pointing the other way. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Well, we see Spencer's got it. He's doing everything he can to try and get a few extra yards, and he just gets hit low as he's getting tackled high at the same time, and that ball just pops right out. That's very rare to see from Spencer. Usually very, very tough holding onto the rock.
So it is a turnover, and off the first drive, not what Scollard Hall was looking for there. So it's going to be Marco Pressot at quarterback, and he hands this ball off. Taken down after a gain of about 7 yards there. That's to number 44, Alexander Battistelli, and he was he had a big game in the championship finals in Sudbury. He had a couple of touchdowns, so he's going to be a guy to look out for today.
Definitely, and you know what? Sudbury's got several weapons of their own. You already mentioned Battistelli, and another strong running back there is Brock Barber. You'll see him getting quite a few carries today as well.
Second down for the St. Benedicts Bears. And this time it's another handoff, but they don't get too far. No, it's going to be short of a first down. That is number 33, Brock Barber. And like we said, they have a couple of weapons in Brock Barber, Alexander Battistelli, and his brother, Christian Battistelli, as well.
Absolutely, and a real good wide receiver, Matthew Vittorioretti.
So it's going to be third down. And that may be something that wears down either team's defense as well, is a 4-down football. Is the defense got to be out there for one more play?
Yeah, it'll be a bigger exchange or bigger change for Scollard. Going to the air here.
Presso with a big throw, but it's just out of the reach. We'll get a number on him in a second. Looked like number 81. Like you said, Matthew Vetteretti already going deep to him, but he couldn't bring that one in.
Yeah, surprised he went so deep on that play. With the size of the line and the size of the running backs that St. Benedict's have, I thought they might put another one, go for another shot along the ground, just run the ball there.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of room to make up there, but it's going to be 4th and short. And it's obviously a punting situation for these guys.
Yeah, this is an area that I expect Scollard to have a bit of an advantage. Again, 3-down football, you see a little bit more special teams play.
And that's Brooks who makes the catch, and then he fumbles it as well, but he's able to recover it, and Brooks, oh boy, he almost lost it deep in his own end.
That would have been a nightmare for Scollard. Maybe a few pre-game or early game jitters from Spencer Brooks. like I said earlier, you don't see those kinds of plays happening. And you already mentioned the sun. He's looking right into the sun when that ball's coming down, so that may have played a factor in that too.
Maybe it's an oily ball. We'll see how that plays up throughout the rest of the game. As we mentioned, it's Eric Rayner at the quarterback position for Scollard Hall. And he's got a great arm on me. He didn't throw, their strength lies in their running game, but when they need a call on him, he's definitely there. They pitch it out in the backfield. Running forward is Poeta, who puts his shoulder down and gain an extra couple yards. A good run there on the outside for Poeta.
You gotta love the attitude here. He knows he's gonna get hit, and instead of trying to make a move or try to deke, he just drops the boom on the defender coming up to make a tackle. Great tackle, by the way, by number 27 there. I believe it was Brendan Hadlow, by coming up and making that hit in the open field. Usually the corners are out there for coverage, not so much for hitting.
And if you remember to last year's NDA final, it's Jeremy Poeta who scored first for Scollard Hall. It was right off the bat on a kick return, and he punched that one in for a score. So we'll see who can be the first to score here. There's another handoff, and they get about 4 or 5 yards on that play. It looks like Spencer Brooks with another carry, so 3 carries on the day for Mr. Brooks already.
Yeah, and that's so dangerous. You see Brooks, you see Poeta coming around on these end-around sweeps or these jet sweep style plays, but they do a real good job of reading the blocks. And what you'll see on that last one is he cuts it up real shallow, so it's almost like an off tackle. Usually when he's coming across the field like that, he ends up taking it wide, but they can cut it up with their agility and go short too.
And that's why they are so dangerous, and that's why they are 7-0, and they go for the run again. It looks like Brooks going to the outside. He's got room. He's definitely got a first down. He's got more, moving way up down the field. And they're closing in on St. Benedict's territory, putting together a good drive here, their second of the game.
Yeah, you see this time again, Spencer doing everything he can to break tackles, everything he can to get extra yards, but this time a little more cautious with the ball. As we go into the replay here, as soon as he feels contact, there he is, 2 hands on the ball. He's not going to be dropping it this time. 2 in 1 game is probably more than enough for him.
The guy who's learning from his mistakes, clearly. And look at that, it takes about 3 guys to take him down. He's a tough kid. Ball right near the 45-yard line. It's still in Scollard territory. They go with another handoff, and this time it's right up the middle, and Brooks is going. He's taken down on the opposing 45-star. That's Andrew Bedard with the carry there. His second of the game. That looked like about a 15-yard run.
And this is where you start to see how dangerous Poeta and Brooks are. Not even getting the ball, but the defense, respecting their speed, respecting what they can do outside, opens up big holes up the middle for Bedard.
So into St. Benedict's territory on the 45, and what's interesting is last week their strength was going right through the middle of the West Ferris defense, so we'll see how that plays out today. Rayner gets a snap, and he pitches this one out to Brooks, who's in trouble right away. He's trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He does.
Looks like we got a flag down here. We'll have to see if this is in favor of the defense or against the defense.
And like we said, going up the middle was their strength last week. Was it interesting to see that West Ferris wasn't able to cover those holes?
Well, I think it was a case like we just mentioned before where you spend so much time trying to game plan for Brooks and Poeta off the edge that you almost forget about the middle, and that's where Scollard will hurt you. They can hurt you both ways. If you try to take away the outside, they'll pound you up the middle. If you crowd the box, they'll do sweeps on you all day.
And it looks like referee John McDonald's pointing for a face mask against the defense, so it wasn't a great run by Brooks, but it results in about a 15-yard advantage for Scollard Hall, and they go all the way down to the 30-yard line. So early on, we had a couple of almost turnovers. Well, 1 turnover for St. Benedict's. Then Brooks fumbled the ball on the kick return, but now this drive gets them all the way down to 30. There's the handoff again. He's running to the outside. He's got some room. Oh, and a great tackle. And Poeta actually drops the ball, but that looks like number 86, Gregory Gravel, able to jump on it at the last second. Poeta was upended on that hit.
Let's take a look at the replay here. I'm not sure if he dropped it before or after he was hit, but there's a good chance he was already down looking at where the referee marked him. But great job again. They fake the sweep, fake the dive. He comes around the edge. Nobody there except for that corner. And a great job again by that same corner, Brendan Hadlow, for making a good open field tackle.
A good job by Gregory Gravel to realize the ball was on the field. There's a handoff there to Brooks, and he gets taken down hard there. There's going to be a lot of hard hits on a Nice sunny day here at the Steve Michelle Sports Complex.
Yeah, absolutely, and these St. Benedict's defenders are big. I'm telling you, I wouldn't want that big boy there, number 56, Kevin Bonin, falling on me a couple of times.
Definitely not. Not only are they big in size, but these guys have a lot of guys on their team. I think I counted about 50 players. Do you see that coming as in a factor at all today?
Well, I do and I don't. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's see what they do here. They're in a full house backfield here, a wishbone, which is a little different for Scollard.
Ball near the 30-yard line, and there's a handoff again. They're going up the middle. Missed who took the handoff, but they get it all the way down. It is Bodwin. And it looks like it's all the way down right near the 10-yard line, and they're into red zone territory.
You know, Bodwin is just a tank. This kid can pound it up the middle on you. If you have the downs, especially in 4-down football, you can just feed him the ball over and over and over again. And it won't be surprised, also a very talented linebacker, Jordan Bodwin.
So ball right near the 10. That looks like 11-yard line, I guess, from that point of view. And they are a dangerous team in this capacity here. There's a quick handoff, but it looks like the referees blew the whistle dead. It may be coming against St. Benedict's again.
Now you're asking about the large roster by St. Benedict's. One of the interesting things I found out from Sean Mullen, the head coach of Woodfield, is that Sudbury doesn't have a junior league at all for their high school. So their teams are all considered varsity teams, which means 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s all play on the same team together. So their rosters look quite large, whereas most of their actual players, the guys that get most of the playing time, are the older grade 11 and 12 guys as opposed to the 9s and 10s.
But then I guess that's also a benefit for when the younger guys become the older guys. They have that much more experience.
Yeah, well, that's true. What playing experience they do get is usually against the older guys, which is good, but it's also limited playing experience. So there's pros and cons to doing it that way.
Definitely is. Another handoff there. That looks like Bedard getting the carry. He's taken down very quickly. And they're trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage there. So the penalty was obviously against Scollard Hall. You know, it's never a good time to get a penalty, but I mean, when you're doing it in the red zone there, it's going to make John Whitted a little bit more angry there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you always say that defensive penalties are worse than offensive. Offensive, you always got a chance to make those yards back. Defensive, they take them away from you right away.
Second and about 10, and Bedard again with the carry. No, it's to the outside. And they're trying for it. They're stopped right near the 5-yard line. That was close. It was Brooks with the ball there. They faked everybody. I thought it was given to Bedard right up the middle, but Brooks was able to break out to the outside, and he gets right down to about the 4-yard line.
Well, I was talking with someone the other day about Rayner, and they were saying it's a shame that you've already mentioned the nice arm he has. You don't get to see it when you can just hand the ball off to all these weapons in the backfield. One thing Rayner does do to help his team out if he's not throwing is incredible fakes. And there you even saw he faked out our cameraman. He had you and I both faked out. We thought the ball was handed off to that dive, and obviously it faked out a lot of the defenders as they were able to take advantage of that and then go wide on the sweep.
Looks like we got a timeout coming here with 1:59 remaining in the first. A fast-moving quarter here already, just a minute 59 in the first quarter. We talked about how it faked out our cameraman. Want to thank SMS Rents for the scaffolding for which our cameramen are standing on to bring you all the action here today. So it looks like Scollard Hall called the timeout. I think John Whitted just wants to get this play right. I mean, it's a 1st and goal. They got 4 chances to punch it in here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they go with here. Definitely a good idea to take a timeout. Usually one of the first things I want to find out when we're this far down on the goal line is, are we in 4-down territory? Can I go ahead and take the extra down? Can I try and punch it in now, or do we go all for the gusto, or can I get a little bit closer on one play knowing that I've got a 4th play? So that's something that Coach Whittett's going to have to figure out right now is, should we try and punch it in now, or because it looks like they might be able to get a 1st down without actually scoring here.
And we'll have to see exactly where they put the markers. But again, for Scollard Hall to go out and put some points on the board against a very tough St. Benedict's team, they put 54 points on the board against the team in their championship final game. So we know that these guys can score. It's just a matter of seeing what their offense can do. Ball right near the 3-yard line. Rayner gets the handoff. He pitches it out. That looks like Brooks, who stopped right away. And they bring him back to about the 5-yard line there. Sorry, that was Poeta who got the carry, so nothing doing there.
A little bit surprising on 3rd and short. They got a chance to just try and get the first down, maybe not punch it in, and they're going for the sweep. I guess, you know, you go with what got you there. The sweeps are what got them all the way down there. But on short yardage like that, surprised they didn't just try to pound it up.
So, it looks like they're going to go for the kick. And last week we saw Jordan Ortepi taking a lot of kicks from about the 40-yard line in the warm-up, and he didn't really take that many field goal chances last week. Here's his first this week. The kick is up. It is good, and with 1:10 to go in the first, it's a 3-0 Scollard Hall lead over St. Benedicts.
Yeah, it's a shame they couldn't punch it in and come away with 7 there, but being the first team on the scoreboard, definitely a confidence boost for the green and gold.
A 3-0 lead for St. Joseph Scollard Hall. And you couldn't ask really for a better start. Remember, that drive started way back in their own end when Spencer Brooks fumbled the ball, you know, on the kickoff. So, or sorry, on the punt, I should say. So.
Yeah, well, just I talked to Coach Dave Wilson just before the game today, and I asked him if there was any change of plans as far as having the extra down, going to 4 downs. And just seeing now, they've got a new formation in there with the wishbone, getting Poeta as well as Baudouin and Bedard all in the backfield at the same time. But other than that, they haven't really needed the 4th down.
Not yet.
Extra down.
They haven't needed it yet. They're making a lot of their first down conversions on 2nd and 3rd. So St. Benedict's going to start with the ball on their own 35-yard line. So they got a lot of field to cover here. And let's see what they can do with it. Presto with it. Sorry, I should say Prescott. And he gets sacked in the backfield. He had a lot of time there to let go of the ball, but he just couldn't do it. A huge play there by St. Joseph Scollard Hall.
That's a fantastic job by the defensive line here to check the instant replay. This is a new rule with NOSSA. You can cut below the waist, so you see every one of the D linemen gets cut, but because of the great coverage downfield, the D linemen all pop up, great hustle, and they still get to the quarterback. You got to give half the credit to the defense, the DBs in the backfield, making sure there's no one for him to throw to, because he did have quite a bit of time.
This puts them way back, just 23 seconds left, and he hands that one off to number 44, Alexander Battistelli, who picks up about 2 yards there. So they still got a long way to go just to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Start this drive on the 35-yard line. The ball right now on the 25-yard line.
Great job by Jordan Baudouin. Here he is, as predicted, playing both ways. A heck of an athlete, and it looks like he's going to be delivering blows as well as taking them on defense and on offense.
So we have one last play in this quarter. No time left on the clock. We'll see what Prescott can do here. Ball on the 25. It's about 2nd and 30. There's the throw. He airs it out. Oh, what a catch. That looks like Christian Battistelli with the reception there. And it's a first down on 3rd and long, I should say. It was actually 3rd down play. A huge play there for St. Benedict's.
Yeah, that's just giant. Look at the replay here. He comes all the way across the field from the far side. St. Benedict's had a tight end on this side, which means the corner stayed up close. He's usually responsible for this part of the field, and they're able to spring that slot all the way across and behind him and complete that. That's a huge first down for St. Benedict's.
So the players will go to their respective benches for a quick second as they switch ends. And that is how the first quarter ends. So really, St. Benedict's got the ball one time in the first quarter, which really sums up how aggressive the offense was for St. Joseph Scollard Hall. They didn't really let them have a chance with the ball.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So now St. Benedict's will start. First down. Closing in the center line. They pitch it out. And he's got some room. Now he's crowded. And then he couldn't get anywhere. That was Christian Battistelli again. So he makes the reception. They go to him for the run. and he doesn't get anywhere.
No shutdown big there. Tried for a bit of a sweep play, and I see what they're doing. They're definitely going with what their strength is. Giant offensive lineman there, Carter Long, leading the way. So even when they're trying to go wide, they're going to pull these big linemen and get them out in front and try and get some big blocks in the open field, not just in the tackle box.
Just beginning the second quarter here. It's a 3-0 St. Joseph's lead. And he faked the handoff, and then they pitch it out, and this is a big run here that looks like Brock Barber, who's able to break through for about a 20-yard run, and another first down for St. Benedicts. Yeah,
that was just a massive hole for Barber to come through. Nice job on the fake, and then they hand it off to Barber, opening up a huge hole for him. Big offensive line, as we already mentioned, and easy first down.
And he's one of the bigger guys on this team, too, so it's going to take some strength to bring him down. Ball on the 35-yard line now. Pressot and the St. Benedicts Bears approaching the end zone. Again, the handoff. Oh, and he just gets it away to Christian Battistelli. What a play there by the defensive line to break through. And that was Jordan Bodwin, who almost had the sack there.
Yeah, St. Benedicts is trying to fake the sweep in one direction and then bring the end around in the other direction to Battistelli. And it's a little bit of a longer developing play. And here Bodwin comes in on the blitz, and he's almost making the sack. It's a good thing the quarterback, Prasad, was able to flick that ball up and get it to Battistelli.
Yeah, it's a good thing Battistelli was there when he was, or else that would have just been a fumble. There's the snap, and there's the delayed handoff, and they're going up the middle. He's still up. Takes another tackle, 2, 3, 4 guys to bring that's Barber down. And it's going to be close to a first down. He may have gotten it.
Yeah, he is just a punishing runner, making all the tacklers pay for trying to take him down. We'll see how many more carries they hand off to this big back.
Ball near the 25-yard line. Looks like it is a first down. They're lining up again. So right after Scollard Hall puts 3 points on the board, St. Benedict's is approaching on the attack now, closing in on the end zone. They go to the shotgun, and then they hand it off to Barber again, who goes up the middle, and it takes about 2 guys to bring him down. Good tackle there by number 55, Carter Conlon. He's one of the main guys on this Scollard Hall defense, isn't he?
Yeah, Carter Conlon's he's an inspirational leader on this team. He's a physical leader on this defense. Here's the replay. Nice tackle there by 48, doing a good job of wrapping him up. And Nicholas Kirulu, and then holding on for Conlon to come in and finish him off. But Barber, what a punishing runner, and you see him again. This time he's out of shotgun. Usually those running backs taking the handoffs out of the shotgun are the faster running backs. Here they're using their power guy just to pound it right up inside.
And I guess there was a penalty there that we didn't see, because this ball is moved all the way up to about the 5-yard line. Christian Battistelli approaching. Did he get it? Touchdown, St. Benedict's.
Number 53, Kendall Reeder. There's another player playing both ways. He had him on the line. You see him holding on for dear life, trying to pull him back. But Battistelli just had that head of steam and able to get the ball just past the plane of the goal line and in for a touchdown.
So that was obviously a costly penalty there by St. Joseph's Scollard Hall.
Here we see it again. Coming up, we see there's Kendall Reeder. He's got him wrapped up. He's pulling back, but as soon as that ball touches the plane, it's almost like an invisible wall going right up into the sky. And as soon as the ball touches that wall, that's considered a touchdown.
We see the jubilant celebration there by Matthew Vetteretti. And the kick is up, and it's good. And it is now a 7-3 lead for St. Benedict's. So they answer the call that St. Joseph sent to them. You know, the St. Joseph Scollard Hall Bears put 3 points on the board, and then right away St. Benedict's comes back and scores 7 of their own. So a costly penalty, but that was a drive that St. Benedict's was in complete control of, Barber being the main factor there.
Absolutely, and you're going to see here both teams, both high-powered, high-octane offenses, both putting up huge numbers in their respective leagues. So this could turn out to be one heck of a shootout. Now both teams having the ball, going the length of the field and punching in almost seemingly at ease. We'll see if they can keep that up.
Yeah, and these two teams were respectively in their own leagues, two of the higher scoring teams as well, weren't they? So you're right, we could see a shootout here, or it could turn out to be a completely defensive game. We never know with these NOSSA Semi Final games. So a 7-3 lead for St. Benedict's over St. Joseph's Scollard Hall, and the kick, and they look almost like a Beckham soccer kick, trailing out there. It goes out of bounds, so it's going to be there's going to be a flag on the play, and it's going to move forward a bit, or they can get them to kick again. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, Scar will have the option here. They can obviously choose to re-kick, or they can take the ball there plus a couple extra penalty yards. Anytime you're taking the ball on your own 40 or closer, you're in good field position. And again, you're just seeing St. Benedict's respect for these Scollard returners. They don't want to give them the ball in any open field at all, so they're just going to kick it out of bounds and scrimmage from the 40 because they don't want the ball going into these guys' hands.
Oh, for sure. And we know, talking to both these coaches, that they did look at each other's game film, and you know, speed definitely shows on game film, so I'm sure they are aware of their the special team that St. Joseph has. So they elect not to re-kick it. They're just going to play the ball from the 40-yard line. How much is field position a factor when you're considering, you know, 4-down football and 3-down football?
Let's take a look at the play here.
And it's just a straight handoff there, and they're bursting up the middle. That looks like it's going to be good enough for a first down. And it looks like Baudouin again.
What a tank Baudouin is, just plowing through. Whenever you can get 8 or 9 yards on first down, I'll take it every single time. You're asking about field position on in 4-down football. Well, we've seen Scollard, they're usually a big play offense, which is great in 3-down football. So little plays, what you would normally think of as like a fullback dive, getting you, 3-4 yards. You can go ahead and run those plays as we just saw, but and it turns out we got a first down from Baudouin. When you can get first down off of a first down with a fullback dive, that's just huge.
It sure is, and there's another handoff. Rayner is sneaky quarterback there, not giving anything away before the play, but he's pushed all the way back. That's Baudouin again, but he breaks through the center line, so it looks like about a 5 or 6 yard pickup. We'll wait till they spot the ball.
Yeah, the refs are going to be generous with that spot. Look at the instant replay here. You see Baudouin dragging would-be tacklers with him, just like we saw Barber doing a few plays ago in the previous series. Great job by the O-line, still trying to push, still fighting, still trying to get him extra yards. And it takes 3 defenders to pull Baudouin down. Again, anytime you can get 7 or 8 yards on first down with your fullback, you're doing good things with your offense.
It's about a 2nd and short here. Rayner again with the snap. Looks at Bedard, but there's a flag on the play. And looks like a procedure play.
Yeah, anytime they whistle it dead before the snap, it's usually against the offense. Now, if it's against, they're talking to St. Benedict, so it's going to be against the offense. You got procedure on the offense there. Yeah, if there's a different rule change that they've got again for the NOSSA playoffs. Normally you play with a 1-yard space between the offensive and defensive line. They have to give that 1-yard cushion. We're into NOSSA, so now there's no yard, very similar to the NFL rule. So again, if the defense were to jump offside, very hard for them to get back without encroaching on the offense. So it could have gone either way. This one was against the offense, pushing them back 5 yards.
We'll see how they respond here. It's going to be about 2nd and 6. And the handoff again to, that looks like Bedard. And he's pushed back. So right off the penalty, it's going to be about 3rd and 6 when Scollard Hall was right up 2nd and 1 a couple of plays ago.
Yeah, this is 2 penalties now that have hurt Scollard. One eventually leading to a touchdown against them, and now another one putting them in 2nd or 3rd and long for their offense. See if they can convert this.
So about 3rd and 6 here. Ball right near the center line. It's a 7-3 lead for St. Benedict's with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Rayner's going to throw. He's got Poeta, but Poeta can't reel it in. A good throw there, was so accurate by Rayner, but Poeta was being tackled as he made the catch. And unfortunately, it's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, real good job by the defender there. Coming up, we see the instant replay. Ball's in the air, and just as it reaches to Poeta, the defender, the DB there, number 29, Brett Burke, great job of taking down Poeta, making sure he doesn't have a chance to wrap that or bring and wrangle that ball in.
So now it's going to be 4th and about 6, and it's definitely a punting situation from this point. I don't see John Whitted risking it this early in the game.
No, and we'll see the shield punt. Not sure if Scollard's seen anything, Sudbury's seen anything like this in their regular season. It's an interesting formation you don't see very often in high school. Nice snap, no pressure at all time to get the ball off all day long.
A couple of guys were in motion on the play, and this ball bounces all the way near the 2-yard line, but now they can't make a tackle, and he's running forward. He gets finally taken down, that looks like near the 10-yard line. That was Brandon Hadlow, who made things look a little dangerous there for Scollard Hall, but they could have pinned him well back in his own end.
Yeah, you know, it was a beautiful kick. He had all the time in the world. Looked like St. Benedict's wasn't trying to set up any type of a block at all. They're more concerned about the return. They had a real nice wall set up on the close side of the field. Their returner just not able to get there, and a gorgeous kick, getting them cornered into the side there, not giving them any room to go.
Well, you see this St. Benedict's team, as we said before, a huge team in size and quantity, and they are starting all the way back on their 5-yard line. Good crowd on hand today for this NOSSA Semi Final. A lot of Bears, well, I guess there's only Bears fans in the crowd, but
yeah, we expect to hear a lot of "Go Bears, Go" chants, seeing how both schools are nicknamed the Bears.
So either way, both teams on the field will be pumped up. Ball near the 5. Pressad will hand it off. That looks like it's Barber running there. He gains about 5 yards as it moves out to the 10-yard line.
Great tackle by number 20, Jordan Baudouin, his counterpart. So we got fullback/linebacker tackling fullback/linebacker.
Yeah.
I think these two will see a lot of each other this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you have a small school like Scollard Hall does, you got to rely on guys to play on both sides of the field. So
absolutely, and in big games, you're going to put your best athletes on to make plays for you.
So it looks like about 2nd and 5, right near the 10-yard line, deep in their own end. St. Benedict's. It's a reverse handoff, and it looks like it's fumbled right near the goal line. Did Scollard recover that one? There's a bunch of bodies on the ground, and Schollard's got it. What a turnover right near the goal line. Looks like number 71, Zachary Clark, coming up big with that one.
That's the same play we saw earlier where they almost sacked the quarterback. They faked the lead, and then they're trying to do a reverse handoff. Just a bad exchange. Usually any exchange issues are on the quarterback. That's the quarterback's responsibility for getting the ball into the running back. And the ball goes to the turf, and it's Scollard coming up with it. Huge turnover this close to the goal line. You see some of the O-linemen playing both ways for St. Benedict's, hands in the air saying, what happened?
Yeah, really. They don't know what happened. That's about the 3rd fumble we've seen today. Brooks has fumbled it twice, only 1 turnover though. And now the first turnover of the day for St. Benedict's. Eric Rayner lines up behind his center. There's a handoff to Jordan Baudouin. He's marching in. Does he have it? Right near the goal line. It's going to be close.
Scollard's saying yeah, but no signal from the referee.
And the referees look like they're going to put this one right on the goal line. I don't think he can get any closer without it actually being a touchdown.
And there's another great job we mentioned earlier, Rayner doing a good job of his fakes. The minute that ball snapped, it's already in the fullback's hands, and he's plowing forward.
Rayner with another handoff, and it's again stopped right near the goal line. Do they have it in here? And I think because he fell backwards, it looks like it's probably not going to count. You see referee John McDonald already signaling 3rd down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Baudouin again, just trying for the quick hitter, trying to punch it in, and they're going right into the teeth of the St. Benedict's defense. Look at the size of some of these linemen. Number 60 there, Emilio Frometta, he's playing both ways. What an engine motor this kid's got for a body that big, going both ways and just playing hard. That's back-to-back stops right up the middle for him.
So St. Benedict's needs one more big stop here. Rayner with the handoff. There's Baudouin. Does he have it now? Looking around, touchdown. It's a touchdown for St. Joseph Scollard Hall, their first of the day, and they take a 9-3 lead over St. Benedict's. Well, it took them 3 times to do it, but they finally punched it in.
And nothing fancy on that either. You got back-to-back-to-back fullback dives by Jordan Baudouin. You're faking the lead in the other direction, faking the end around with your weapons, Brooks and Poeta. Defense has got to respect those guys, and you're just putting it on big Baudouin's shoulders to plow through. And what is a pretty good size offensive line for Scollard as well. We talk about the size of St. Benedict's, but that O-line with guys like Anthony Fleury and, as we already mentioned, number 53.
It's off the post. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that is off the post. Jordan Ortepi with the point after attempt. Can't kick it through the uprights. So instead of a 10-3 lead, it's a instead of 10-7 lead, it's a 9-7 lead. How about that?
Interesting. We'll have to see if that comes back to haunt them later on.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow. After all that, Jordan Bodwin sacrificing his body to get it in, and then Jordan Ortepi just could not convert on the point after attempt.
Yeah, the snap looked pretty good. The hold looked pretty good. He just pegged that upright.
So with 3:21 to go in the second, it's a 9-7 Scollard lead. Could have been a 10-7 lead. But you're right, we'll see if that comes back to haunt them. Fortunately for them, they were able to get that turnover right near the goal line. And it took them 3 tries, but they got it in. And that's another advantage, as we said, of 4-down football is that play would have been make it or break it, and they would have turned the ball over right there. But who knows, maybe John would have gone for it on 4th down. We won't know.
No, absolutely not. Nice kick.
It's fielded near the 30, and he's still on his feet. That's number 49, Catlin Cargill, who didn't want to go down there, but there were tons of golden shirts around him.
Absolutely. That's another strong runner right there, a linebacker. Playing the up back position, gets the ball to him and just refusing to go down, trying to get an extra yard or two, setting his team up now with good field position right around the 40.
And we saw St. Benedict's didn't want to kick it twice now, all the way to the St. Joseph punt returners. Now St. Joseph Scollard Hall kicking it to the middle guys and not the punt returners. So obviously both teams respecting each other's speed. Press on. Again at the cornerback position, and the ball looks like it's fumbled again. Another fumble. Can Scollard jump on this one? We'll wait and see, and they're pointing the other way. It's a Scollard Hall turnover and a Scollard Hall ball. St. Benedict's, 2 turnovers on consecutive plays, and the St. Benedict's Bears are asking themselves, what is going on?
Yeah, that's got to be real tough. There was a huge hole opened up by the offensive line there. Again, we already mentioned big Emilio Frometta. Nice hole for the running back, but it doesn't do them any good when the ball's bouncing around on the carpet.
That's the 4th fumbled ball already today. And we still have 2 quarters and 2 minutes to play. And what do you think it is? I mean, I know that they are running towards the sun, but does that really affect your hands?
No, not at all. I don't know if this is something new. It's a reverse pivot, meaning the quarterback's opening up the opposite way that the ball is going. But that's on the quarterback. He's got to get that exchange into the running back.
Rayner with the reverse handoff, and it's Jeremy Poeta breaking to the outside. He gets around one man, jumps over another. He's on the move. He's just got one man to beat. He'll beat him. It's a touchdown. Jeremy Poeta with the outside run, and on one play, they score a touchdown.
Wow, what a weapon that Poeta is. Again, they're faking the lead here in the one direction. They make it look like they're going to be running the lead. Here it is. And they fake it right there to Bedard, and then here comes Poeta, perfectly timed. Great block by 53. We already mentioned that. Kendall Reeder, and then we get a nice hurdle there. 3 plays in a row now. We've seen number 27, the corner, going low, and Poeta's seen it enough of that, so he just hurdled him like a track star and dances into the end zone, making him pay for another turnover.
The kick is up, and this one is through, so Ortepi making amends for his earlier missed field goal. And just like that, the Bears go way out in front. It's a 16-7 lead over St. Benedict's, and we still got just under 3 minutes to play in the second, but you couldn't have asked for really a better first half for St. Joseph's.
Yeah, definitely the turnovers and making them pay for turnovers. It's one thing to recover the ball and get the ball to your offense. That's a great job by the defense, but when the offense can punch it in and really punish the opposition for turning it over, you're doing good things and you're setting your team up for success.
So St. Joseph's will be kicking, and St. Benedict's Bears kicking themselves right now. They have allowed 2 turnovers, and it's led to 13 points. This ball is kicked all the way back near the 10-yard line. Now it's fielded. They're going to bring it up. Oh, and he slips now. He brought it up about 10 yards, it looked like. That was number 12, Tanaka Chekeshwa, who brought it up about 10 yards, and that's where they'll mark it. So, really, the game plan here has to be don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and you know what you mentioned on the last one, they kicked it to the up back, and now they are going to the deep men, but the kicking job is phenomenal of pinning him deep into the corner. He's going over top there. Look at that, making sure he's down on the ground, but doing a good job of pinning him in the corner to use the sideline as your friend there, making sure if he steps out of bounds, just like making a tackle, giving him less room to run.
So Pressot, on the last 2 plays, he's seen 2 fumbles. He's going to throw this one, and it is complete, and it's going to be complete for a big game. That's Christian Battistelli, who gets it all the way to their own 50-yard line with 2:20 to go.
And the success of this play is just set up by that great ground game that they've had so far. All that running that they've done up until this point, the defense fully commits, Scollard Hall's defense fully commits to the run on the play action. When he fakes the handoff, he's able to roll it with ease. He could have run it there, but he's got a wide open receiver, nice completion, first down and then some.
So both the Battistelli brothers have some speed in them, and they got to be on the radar of St. Joseph's now. And there's the handoff. They're going to the outside. That looks like Alexander Battistelli with the carry, and he gets it, and that looks like it's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, you got a lot of St. Benedict's fans here as well. It's not all Scollard Hall being in North Bay today. Tons of fans came down from Sudbury to support their Blue Bears.
And they're hoping that the Blue Bears can put together a drive here that results in some points, because they're going to need some going into the second half. Pressot airs this one out. He's looking downfield. No one there but gold shirts. It actually went off. We'll get a number on that for you in a second, but that went off his hands, the Blue Bears' hand, I should say. And out of all that coverage, that's a surprisingly accurate throw to get it down to him.
Great time. Look, there's nobody near him. He's got all the time in the world to step into this. He may have put it up a little bit high because the receiver there looks like number 81. He's their go-to guy, Matthew Vittoretti. Wide open, but because the ball kind of hung up there a little bit high, gave both defenders a chance to catch up and make a play on that, preventing him from coming down with the reception.
So what it looks like, it's going to be second and short, or third and short, I should say. And again, Sudbury, St. Benedict's trying to make a move here, looking for a score before the end of the half. Pressot will line up in shotgun formation. Fakes a throw in there, and there's the handoff, and they're going to be able to get a first down on this one. But how much more will they get? You see Jordan Bodwin, one of the tacklers again in that play. I wonder how much more energy Bodwin's got left in the tank, being on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, there's no quitting this kid, though. He'll be on completely empty, and he'll refuse to come off the field. He's just a plug. He's a little spark plug there. He's not going to come off. Let's take a look at this one again. It's out of shotgun. He does a good job of faking the pass and then handing it off for just a pounding up the middle, just getting what he needs. That looks like it's Barber again, making tacklers punish.
And here we go. They're looking downfield again to the sideline. It's caught. Oh, no, it's dropped. It's dropped in Scollard Hall. Sorry, it went back into the hands there of Joel Carpino.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they marked him down by contact or if they're going to say it was a catch and then recovered. Not quite sure. Either way, it looks like it's going to be St. Benedict's ball there, close to, if not having a first down.
I think it's got to be St. Benedict's ball if he's the one that recovered it as well. So regardless, I mean, he did maintain possession. He made a catch, and then he turned around a full 360. So yeah, it's going to be second down for St. Benedict's there with 1:09 left on the clock. And who is that trying to argue the other way? That's Jordy Matheson trying to tell referee John McDonald another story there, but he's not listening. So 1:09 remaining. That's got to be a Benedict's fan right there.
Keeping the ears warm.
Press out again in shotgun formation. He's got time. Looking downfield. Long pass. Looking for the end zone. Oh, and what a play there. That's Matheson, who came in on Matthew Vetteretti, who had a huge opportunity to get them right down the 1 yard line. He was out of the end zone, so it would have been a touchdown, but what a play there.
Yeah, again, all the time in the world going up high. It looks like Vetteretti was a little bit right here. He's in behind the defense, but he's got to come back to the ball as he put it up a little bit too high and not able to get the distance on it that he might have liked. Coming up short, incomplete, and it looks like we've got a Scollard Bear down on the ground. Yes, we do.
That was Jordan Ortepi who made the initial, he hit the ball out of the air as it came down. And can't see the number on who the Scollard Hall Bear is there, but hasn't moved in a while. I'm sure, okay, there's some hand motion. So.
Yeah, he just tapped his leg. It looks like Coach Whitt's going to go around and have a look at it. That looked like a great pass blocking job by Emilio Frometta. Good job of putting the bear to the ground, the Scollard Bear that is, on the ground. And as they're often taught, don't give him a chance to get back up. We already saw Scollard. Here it is again. If you watch the far side, big number 60, just out of your screen, as it comes back into focus here, or into frame, you'll see him on top of the player, not giving him a chance to get up and get to the quarterback. And that's what they're taught to do. It's technically not holding because he's just kind of laying on top of him. But that's a big body. I wouldn't want that laying on top of me, that's for sure. Not in a contact game like this.
No, not at all. We hope he's okay.
Definitely. Well, we saw Scollard already got one sack off of that, where they did a good job of cut blocking all the D linemen. They had them on the ground, and then every one of them popped right back up and was able to get to the quarterback. So they're not giving them a chance to do that. Now, there is a penalty against the Benedict Bears, which has backed them up a little bit. They may have called holding on that. I'm not sure.
We'll see. Holding or lying on top. We'll see what the call is, but that's Zachary Clark, who's walking off the field now. And it was Zachary Clark who forced the fumble, which resulted in Schollard's first touchdown of the day. Went to a 9-7 lead, and then another fumble just a couple minutes later, and Jeremy Poeta, huge run, puts us now at a 16-7 lead with 53 seconds to go. Scollard Hall trying to stop St. Benedict's here. There's a throw to the outside, and it's caught. It's complete. A good catch there. Is that Matthew Vetteretti? It looks like it is.
It sure is, and you know, it was a fabulous job by Vetteretti of, again, coming back to the ball. Had he just stood there and waited for the ball to come to him, probably incomplete. But as the ball is being released, he comes back, gives him separation from the defender. He's able to complete it and get those chains moved.
So with 44 seconds to go in the first half, St. Benedict's still looking for a touchdown. It looks like Barber is only able to get up about 5 yards. And a big score here by St. Benedict's would only make it a 2-point lead going into halftime, which I'm pretty sure would be beneficial for St. Benedict's. However, for St. Joseph Scollard Hall, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to figure out what they did right to stop them the first couple times.
Yeah, definitely. Momentum's everything. A score here gives all the momentum, even though being down in the game would give all the momentum probably to St. Benedict's. Wise timeout. Make sure you got the right play call in. Make sure you got the right players on the field for both teams here. This is going to be a huge couple of plays. The clock now being at the end of the half, getting close to it, is going to be a factor in the play calling for St. Benedict's. They've had a lot of success on the ground, but now they might have to think about going to the air to try and conserve a little bit of time. We've seen that the St. Benedict's receivers can get in behind or have gotten in behind the Scollard Bears DBs, and they've also had some success on the ground too. So we'll see what kind of play calling they go with.
And last week in the NDA finals, West Ferris threw the ball a lot, but they didn't have a lot of completions, and that's got to be a testament to the defensive passing game of St. Joseph's.
Sure did, and drop balls too.
And drop balls, yeah, you're right about that.
I'm sure those receivers are still having nightmares about drop balls.
Ball on the 40, they hand it off to Alexander Battistelli, who only picks up a couple yards there. A good tackle by number 32, Jordy Matheson with the tackle there.
Yeah, great open field tackle there. Anytime you get a running back in an open field like that, running back's usually trying to make a move because Good job to bring him to the ground.
27 seconds to go, and once the ball's whistled in, oh, and it's a high snap, and it goes all the way back into St. Benedict's territory. They pick it up. It's Barber who gets it, brings it back to the center line, and then he's taken down. What a play by Scollard Hall, and almost another turnover, but another huge mistake by St. Benedict's.
Very costly. It's just a snap issue. It goes right over the quarterback's head. You got to give Barber credit here. Usually he knows the defense is coming. He doesn't even look. All he does is grab the ball. Most guys would just fall on it here. He's got the guts to pick it up, not looking who's coming, where they are, and try to get something back for his team, knowing that they've just taken themselves way out of field goal range, certainly out of touchdown range, with only a couple of seconds left. What a costly mistake with a bad snap that close in the red zone with such little time left in the half.
Yeah, you're right about it. Yeah, taking them out of field goal range too. I mean, had they been able to kick a field goal and make it a 16-10 game, you know, there's a lot more wiggle room when you're only down by one score, but now they need to score twice.
Yeah, we talked about momentum, and there's a momentum switch right there. Momentum all on Scollard's side right now.
16-7 with 14 seconds to go. Pressot under pressure, gets the ball away, but there's nobody there. The intended receiver was Christian Battistelli, but talk about the pressure there from the Gold Bears.
Absolutely. They've turned it up. I'm not sure if that was a designed blitz or not, but good job of getting to the quarterback, obviously forcing the short throw, bringing up third and a cab ride here at this point.
It sure will be. Third and very long. We talked about some of the guys who are going to play on both offense and defense. They're probably going to be hungry after the game. We want to thank Greco's on Lakeshore Drive for feeding our crew today. So make sure you stop by at Greco's for some great pizza. There's the handoff. That looks like Battistelli, who's able to carry it upfield, but definitely short of the first down. And with just 1 second left, they'll get one more play in before the half.
Yeah, a little surprised with the play call there. Just going with a simple sweep. They haven't been able to generate a whole lot of yards off that kind of a play so far. But we'll see. They've got themselves one last chance with 1 second left. See if they can do something. Still out of field goal range, so it's going to be an offensive play. We'll see if they take a shot at the end zone.
Well, I think they're going to have to throw it here. We'll see what they do. No, they pitch it outside, and it's Battistelli again, who's got some room. He's making it forward, but he's taken down. A great tackle there by Nicholas Cerullo, and that is how the half ends. So we will be back for the second half of this NOSSA Semi Final on CogecoTV.
I like doing arts and crafts at the Y because there's always something new. You get to play sports and get to play lots of games. Play soccer, play hockey, ride on scooters. I like to make arts and crafts. I'm playing in the sandbox.
The YMCA Strong Kids campaign provides funds to help children attend camp, help teens find employment, enable children to participate in a recreational activity, and enable struggling families to use child care facilities. Invest in a strong community. Invest in a child today.
Support the Strong Kids campaign. No risks, only returns.
Psst, over here. Have you heard? TV Cogeco is a great place to volunteer and give a voice to your community. It's easy. Just fill out a volunteer application and you too can be a star. Like me! Well, almost. Whether you're looking to try something new, gain some experience, or meet new people, TV Cogeco is the place to be. So visit your local community channel or tvcogeco.com and get connected.
Fruits and veggies. They come in all shapes and sizes. And add color and goodness to every meal and snack. So whenever you eat, include fruits and veggies. And mix it up. For information and recipe ideas, visit fruitsandveggies.ca.
Complex live for NOSSA Semi Final football. It's a 16-7 lead for Scollard Hall. We're calling them the Gold Bears because they're playing against the St. Benedicts Bears as well, and they are the Blue Bears. So try not to confuse you too much, folks. But it's a 16-7 lead for Scollard Hall. A great half for the Gold Bears, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and St. Benedict's has just got to be killing themselves. They've shot themselves in the foot with turnover after turnover. It's cost them yards, it's cost them points.
So there's the kick to begin the second half. Oh, and they hand it off on the reverse there. That's number 49. He's breaking through. He's got a lot of room to go. Jordan Artepi, the last man back, just takes him down. That was Catlin Cargill on a huge return there. And that's what they needed. They needed that run coming out of the gates here.
Uh-oh, we got a flag down, though. We got a flag down. Looks like this one might be coming back. What a shame. We mentioned again.
How many times they shot themselves in the foot, right?
Absolutely. Momentum being everything. A huge momentum gainer with that reverse on the kickoff return. Would have gotten them into Scollard territory. And now
Eat, include fruits and veggies. And mix it up. For information and recipe ideas, visit fruitsandveggies.ca.
Complex live for NOSSA Semi Final football. It's a 16-7 lead for Scollard Hall. We're calling them the Gold Bears because they're playing against the St. Benedicts Bears as well, and they are the Blue Bears. So try not to confuse you too much, folks. But it's a 16-7 lead for Scollard Hall. A great half for the Gold Bears, wouldn't you say?
absolutely, and St. Benedict's has just got to be killing themselves. They've shot themselves in the foot with turnover after turnover. It's cost them yards, it's cost them points.
So there's the kick to begin the second half. Oh, and they hand it off on the reverse there. That's number 49. He's breaking through. He's got a lot of room to go. Jordan Artepi, the last man back, just takes him down. That was Catlin Cargill on a huge return there. And that's what they needed. They needed that run coming out of the gates here.
Uh-oh, we got a flag down, though. We got a flag down. Looks like this one might be coming back. What a shame. We mentioned again.
How many times they shot themselves in the foot, right?
Absolutely. Momentum being everything. A huge momentum gainer with that reverse on the kickoff return. Would have gotten them into Scollard territory. And now it's coming back on what looks like a holding penalty. What a shame for St. Benedict's. They have a long field to deal with now.
Yeah, this one coming all the way back in their own end. John McDonald making the signal there. It's going to be, that looks like the 25-yard line. But that run by Cargill got them all the way down.
Yeah, and we saw
40.
We saw Cargill earlier field the short kick and refusing to go down there. So look what he can do when he's got a head of steam on him.
So a big turn of events there. A good one if you're a St. Joseph Scollard Hall fan, and for St. Benedict's, you're going, come on, guys, we got to put something together. There's the delayed handoff. This time it's that's Alexander Bastelli up the middle with a good run there. And that was a huge hole that he just ran through.
It sure is. A little misdirection. You've got a real speedy team. Oh, limping a little bit. Real speedy team. So they fake the handoff to Brock, and then they come back to Bastelli, who's got a huge hole. They're taking advantage of the fact that Scollard is so fast is going to over-pursue. And after they've seen handoff to Brock, it just makes sense to fake the handoff to Brock and then counter back in the other direction and get Scollard going the wrong way. And when you get some of those big linemen that St. Benedict's has pushing guys who are already going the wrong way, you're going to get good things happening.
And again, we're playing 4-down football.
Haven't seen a lot of the 3 downs yet. Both teams are able to convert.
But it does, I'm sure it'll take a toll on the defenses. They're looking over Bastelli, and yeah, it looks like he's going to come off the field there. He was limping after that play. But I mean, it does wear down the defense. I mean, you see it all the time in the NFL. The more times an offense can convert on 3rd down, the more likely the defense are to not be able to shut them down.
Yeah, it's not just physically draining, it's emotionally draining when you know you've got them pinned down now. You've stopped them on 1st, you stopped them on 2nd, and on 3rd down they're able to convert, which means you're out there for another at least 3 or 4 downs.
And it also gives the offense one more opportunity. And another reverse handoff there. This time it's a Christian Battistelli, so he's going to take over the load for his brother there. And he gets about 6 or 7 yards on that play up to the 45-yard line.
Great tackle by Giorgio Teppi to step up and make that play in the open field. Again, usually running backs in the open field can be real dangerous, or Teppi stepping right up there and shutting him down, saying no more yards for you on this one. But again, a little misdirection, taking advantage of Scollard being very aggressive and flowing hard to what they see first, and then countering back the other way.
So it's going to be about 3rd and 2. And they hand it off, and that's Brock Barber going through. Barber with another big run, this time right over the middle, and they're into Scollard Hall territory.
Yeah, Barber, what a punishing back, and he's giving a hands he's getting slaps on the backs from all of his teammates here. He's doing a great job of running. But if you look at some of these offensive linemen there, number 57, Eric Lassard, what a tank monster. I wouldn't want to have to line up against him.
I don't know, especially they're just going to be holding you down like we saw in the first half like that. So let's see what they can do here. Pressot with another handoff to Barber again, but he just gets tripped up coming right over the line of scrimmage there by number 53 for St. Joseph Scollard Hall, Kendall Reeder.
Yeah, and Carter Conlon.
We've called his name a lot today.
Yeah, and Carter Conlon in there as well, doing a really good job. We mentioned him already too. He's another one of those spark plug kind of guys who's just going to keep firing like a little piston.
So they line up again. And again, it's a beautiful day here at Steve Bowman Show. Last week during the NDA finals, it was a little bit of a cloudy, bit of a windy day, but today just gorgeous for football. And Christian Battistelli, oh, and he's tripped up. He was making the moves there. He was tripped up by Jordan Bodwin right at the end.
Yeah, that's a shoelace tackle by Jordan Bodwin. One more guy, he gets by Jordan, and he's got a lot of room in the open space there. But Jordan doing a good job of making sure he can't turn the corner and get to that open space.
So Jordan Bodwin, of course, making a lot of plays on both sides of the field, as we mentioned earlier. 16-7 lead for Scollard Hall with 8:52 to go. And here's one thing, aside from the 2 turnovers that St. Benedict's has given up, okay, we got a player running off the field there. Oh, I think it's I think that looks like a uniform. Or
that's a first aid timeout. That's
okay.
Yeah, anytime that a player's got any exposed blood or if he's bleeding, the referees give him a 2-minute timeout to go over and get that patched up. It's a nice rule. It prevents the player from having to come off the field and miss a rep or two. So he'll just go over, they'll clean it up, bandage him up, and then they'll resume play from there.
And of course, in a game like this, you're going to get banged up either way, so it's a good thing they do have that rule in. What I was saying before was, aside from the 2 turnovers that St. Benedict's has allowed, every single drive, whether it's been for Scollard Hall or St. Benedict's, the offense has been on the field for a long time.
Absolutely.
They've been long drives.
Yeah, we expected that from St. Benedict's with sort of a ground and pound, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, but same thing for Scollard.
And they hand it off, and it's bobbled, and maybe Scollard Hall with another turnover. No, Christian Battistelli would come up with it. But that was almost identical to the play that they tried to do in the first half around the exact same field area.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the 3rd time we've seen this play almost cost them. They have had 1 fumble because of it. We had a bad exchange the first time, and here the 3rd time the exact same thing happens. We got an injured player, but on that play they're faking the sweep to Benedict's left, and then they're going to counter back in the other direction with the end around, and it's just taking such a long time to develop. The linebackers are getting to the quarterback before he can even make the exchange, and he's literally flicking the ball up as he's going down. And on that time, he was, St. Benedict's very lucky to still have the ball.
Yeah, they sure were, and like you said, he's like flicking it.
Here it is here. As he's going down, he flicks it up. Yeah, absolutely. And Battistelli doesn't realize the ball's coming. So he takes it off the face mask, and very lucky to be falling on it as there's 2 Golden Bears standing there ready to pick that up if he's not there.
As that was Garrett Surzawa making a tackle there. He's not a guy who gets the ball a lot, so maybe he didn't realize, oh, maybe I should be jumping on the ball, not jumping on the guy at the end there.
No kidding.
But that is going to be a 4th down play as the punting unit comes on the field. So like we said, they've been very long drives, but this one now ends on a 4th down for St. Benedict's.
And once again, it's actually St. Benedict's hurting themselves.
So Kendall Reeder, who's been a huge force on defense today, is limping off the field. There's some fans that don't want to be seen on TV, apparently.
And we see Kendall jogging off. That's a good thing for Scollard because he plays on the offensive and the defensive line. So I'm sure they hope he's not out for too long. Another interesting rule change now that we're into NOSSA, not NDA, is normally if this was NDA, by going down and having a trainer come onto the field, he'd be required to take 3 plays off. Now he can go off and then be right back on the field for the very next play if he's able to.
It is an interesting rule. I think maybe they do an NDA because they don't want their guys to get injured over the season, but they do change the rules up as we go along the playoffs, and the punt that's near the 30-yard line, and there's going to be a no yards penalty in that, and Brooks again nearly fumbling that one. He had to scramble for it there.
Yeah, and it looked like the punt was a little shorter than what Brooks had expected it to be. He let it bounce, and anytime you can feel the ball in the air, you definitely want to do so. With the shape of the football makes it very, very awkward to predict where it's going to bounce. So if it hits the turf first, you don't know if it's going to go forward, backwards, to the left, to the right. So you usually want to try and feel that in the air, take it directly from the sky as opposed to letting it hit the ground first. But he does a good job of making sure he gets on top of that and making sure it's still Scollard's ball.
Yeah, he sure does. That would have been a costly turnover, and it would have given St. Benedict's great field position. And that's what those fans that were talking about was that it was pretty close to turning the ball over.
Looks like a no yards penalty. The coverage team, the punting team, required to give a 5-yard cushion to the return man. So they didn't do that, so they'll be backed up a few yards there. Looks like the 5-yard variety.
And is that more to protect the player, or why is that rule in there?
Yeah, well, in the NFL they don't have that rule, but they also have fair catches. Well, CFL Canadian rules, they don't have fair catches, but to prevent the player from getting absolutely killed, they looks like we had a fumble there.
And it may have been just turned over by St. Joseph Scollard Hall, and it
sure is
St. Benedict's. So after Brooks almost turned it over, it looks like Eric Rayner does it himself, and an unfortunate turn of events there. St. Benedict's with great field position here.
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know if Rayner even got the snap into his hands. Let's take a look here. If it's an exchange problem, it comes up. It looks like the ball dragged on the turf and didn't quite come up the way and as quickly as he would have liked it to. Didn't quite get into his hands, and it's on the ground and into St. Benedict's possession. Wow, what a turnover for them. Momentum swing big time.
And none of the Scollard Hall Bears, as you saw in the replay, knew that even happened. They were just going to complete their play. So all of a sudden, press on in the Benedict Bears, and there's a handoff to Alexander Benestelli, who rumbles forward for a big gain there. And now it looks like the St. Joseph Scollard Hall fans are the quiet ones, as the Benedict fans starting to make some noise here at the Steve Omichel Sports Complex.
Yeah, this is a huge swing. We'll see if St. Benedict's can put some points off and take advantage of this turnover like Scollard did on the turnovers that St. Benedict's coughed up.
And remember, it's still a 2-possession lead for St. Joseph Scollard Hall, so they have that pad there. There's a turnover again! It looks like Schollard's going to jump on it, and they do, and it's another turnover for St. Benedict's. 2 plays this time. It took 2 plays, and Scollard Hall is able to get back on offense.
And this looks like another exchange issue between the quarterback and the running back. He just fakes the fullback, and he puts it in a little bit low. They say to put it in the breadbasket, right in the diaphragm, right where the rib cage meets the stomach. That's the target the quarterback wants to be putting it in there. The running back's got his eyes on the hole. He's reading his block, so he's just counting on the quarterback to put the ball in there. And it looks like he puts it down on his hip almost, and it comes out. Wow, what a turnover.
And how can miscommunication at this point in the season, be something that is factoring so big in this game? There's a huge handoff, and that's Bedard, who's scampering out the middle, gets around 1 tackle, and it takes 3 guys to take him down. He gets all the way to the 50-yard line, and that is a statement play there by the Scollard Hall Bears.
Yeah, huge run. Nice big hole right there. Looks like the nose tackle almost has him. That's big Emilio Frometta again, but he's able to get through that hole and into open field and making 1, 2, 3 guys take him down. Wow, good job. Going back to the turnover, you shouldn't be having exchange problems like that this far into the season.
And they hand it off again. That's Brooks, who's still up. Their guys just grabbing at him there. But that's something that Brooks does and Poweta does very well, is they keep their feet moving until their face is on the ground. I mean, those guys just know how to run.
Definitely. And you think of Brooks, you think of Poweta, and you think of speed and agility. but both these guys will make you pay when they've got the ball. They're not just going to go down with a whisper. That time, Big Carter Long hauling them to the ground. But these guys are punishing backs themselves, especially for small, fast guys.
5:40 left, and they hand it off again. Rayner has yet to throw. I think he's thrown it once, maybe twice. This time he hands it off to Bedard. So with 5:30 to go, it's still a 16-7 lead. We want to thank you once again for joining us on CogecoTV. We're live at the Steve Olmsted Sports Complex. Matthew Sugram alongside with Ryan McGowan. And Ryan, before you're talking about, you've coached some of these guys with the Nipissing Wild earlier in the season. I guess it's encouraging to see some of these guys like Brooks and Bedard playing this well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see how they do here.
Rayner with the handoff, and they go the other way, and it's Poeta on the far side, and he just gets taken down. And I don't know if that's going to be good enough for a first down, but he gained a lot of room there on that carry.
Porter did a fabulous job. You're talking about these guys. We have Brooks out. Let's take a look here. He actually gives up about 8 yards there. If he's tackled there, it's an 8-yard loss, but he knows he's got the speed. If he gets around that player, he's got a lot more room, so he does. He gives up the yards, knowing he's got speed to make it up. Real nice tackle there by number 18, Emerson Carniel. And it looks like we got a first down.
So it is good enough for a first down. Ball right near the 50. Rayner with the handoff again, this time to Bedard, who bursts up the middle. He's like a pinball. They're just bouncing off these guys. And that looks like about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, for smaller backs, and they really are, especially when you see them matched up against some of these St. Benedict's players. They truly are the smaller team. But just refusing to go down, making them take 2, 3, 4 tacklers to actually get them to the ground. Great hard running by all 4 running backs here.
And we thought it would be taking more effort to take the Benedicts guys down, but they're matching them size for size here, pound for pound. There's a pitch out to Brooks, who's got some room. Oh, and he's taken down, and that may be the horse collar that we saw called a couple of times in last week's NDA final game.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if they're going to call horse collar. They could just call it a high tackle. But anytime a player's looking out his ear hole, you know that someone's got him. Let's take a look at this replay. He's got the edge. He does a good job. He sees a bit of a hole, so he cuts it up, and there it is, right around the neck. And the helmet gets spun around a little bit, and he's got his chin strap up over his eyes. So it's definitely a high tackle there. Looks like number 49, Catlin Cargill, maybe unleashing some of the frustration on getting that big run call back earlier.
Yeah, these guys got to be frustrated now. I want to comment on the great camera work on that replay there. We want to thank SMS Rents for the scaffolding, for which our cameramen are standing on, bringing all the action here today. Glad they're up there and I'm down here. So.
Yeah, you know what? The scaffolding looks great. It's fantastic, but I'll stick down here on the ground.
So a huge first down opportunity here. And look at this. Baldwin is still on his feet. He went up the middle, couldn't find anything, so he cuts back out to the outside. And that's only a gain of maybe about 4 or 5 yards, but it developed out of nothing.
It sure did. And you know what? All the credit to the center. Here's a smaller size. Look at this cute little Bears fan. She's got to be happy with the outcome so far. But all the credit to the center there by Scollard. At the snap of the ball, he's pushed about 4 or 5 yards into the backfield, right into the running back's lap. But he does a good job of staying between himself and the tackler, which allows Bodwin to make a move.
Baldwin doing his job, Brooks, Bedard, and Poeta doing their job, and Rayner just handing it off to the right man to move it downfield. That was Poeta again. That's a big tackle there by number 87, Connor Sullivan. And we mentioned earlier about the Benedicts Bears shooting themselves in the foot. How about that high tackle penalty that's allowed St. Joseph into at least field goal range from this point?
Absolutely, and we said earlier too that offensive penalties, you always have a chance to sort of make those yards back. Defensive, as soon as you've made that penalty, those yards are immediately assessed to the offense. You're just moving backwards. There's no way of getting those back unless, you know, tackles for losses and sacks and whatnot.
And so far, they haven't been able to stop them in the backfield at all. At least I can remember. Rayner airing it out again. Another throw, and Brooks. Oh, and I think that might not be a catch. Incomplete. We'll see how they rule it there. But Brooks went all out to try and reel that one in.
Sure did. He drops back here, unleashes a good ball. It's a little bit short, but Brooks does a good job coming back to it. Looks like he still has it here. It looks like he's still got possession there, but it rolls. Oh, he's not able to hold on as the defender hits him, and it definitely incomplete ball. But good try. Let's talk about selling out and doing everything you can to try and get a reception there. Nice effort by Spencer Brooks. You talked about some of these guys at the Wild. Spencer was out for a eval. He didn't end up sticking with the team, but boy, oh boy, we'd love to have him this summer coming up.
And again, the great camera work there to show that he actually didn't catch the ball. So Artepi's going to kick it from about 30 yards, and it is good. Make it a 19-7 lead for St. Joseph's.
And it's a bit of a victory there. You see some of the Benedicts fans cheering, and rightfully so. Here they've done a good job of stopping them, making sure they're only coming away with 3 points and not 7. And it's kind of funny here that the kicker there, Artepi, not able to make the 5-yard extra point,
right.
But a great job drilling. No doubt about that one. A 30-yard field goal to get some more points and put this a little further ahead.
He's made a couple of big tackles on defense as well. So Artepi having a fine game. And how about Eric Rayner? You know, usually quarterbacks get all the glory for the throws they make, but you know, he's had maybe 2 or 3 throws all game, and he's just been able to find the right running back to hand the ball off to. And I mean, he's obviously calling the right plays. So he's having a fine game himself.
Yeah, real nice play calling there by Andrew Dunn and Dave Wilson by the Scollard Bear offense. But we said this too. Anytime Rayner's got the ball, he does such a fabulous job with his fakes that it's really hard for the defense. I mean, they know that they have to defend against pretty much these 4 different backs, but then Rayner does a fantastic job of never really giving up as to who's getting the ball and who has the ball.
And this time they will kick it deep, ball bouncing right near the 20-yard line. That's Christian Battistelli who brings it up. He's breaking a couple tackles. He's got some room to run. Poeta finally brings him down near the 50. Another good run for Christian Battistelli. We'll wait and see, though, if this one comes back. I don't see any flags on the field yet. This one might be legit.
You know what? Fabulous job there by Artepi. His kickoffs are phenomenal. He's able to pin the defense or the returners deep in their own area, plus he's able to get it near the sidelines. Most kickers don't want to put it near the sidelines. Look at the deking and juking here. Most kickers don't want to put it near the sidelines because if it goes out of bounds on a kickoff, that's a penalty.
Right.
He's able to pin it into the sideline, and not only that, we saw it in the Whitfield game where the ball constantly kicks back towards his own recovery team. So if the returners don't field the ball immediately, you know, the kicking team can recover that. So it's a fabulous job, not only with the extra points and field goals, but his kickoffs are super lethal.
So 1:14 remaining in third. And yeah, you're right. This one's coming all the way back. So I didn't see the flag on the field, but clearly there was one.
Yeah,
and,
usually
oh
with,
my goodness,
with the big runs,
Battistelli's got to be kicking somebody on his own team right now.
Big runs like that usually indicate some kind of hold somewhere. Benedict once again shooting themselves in the foot.
There's a throw over the middle. It's intercepted. That is Joel Korchesny with a huge interception there. So a couple of turnovers by the fumble, a couple of bad penalties, and now a interception. And the St. Joseph's Scollard Hall Bears are really being given a Christmas gift today.
Are they ever? And it's real shocking to see this many turnovers on miscues this far into the season.
It really is. Yeah, you talk about the miscommunication, but I think that play right there where I just think there were way too many gold shirts for him to be throwing. I don't know. I think Prescott just felt under pressure and had to get rid of it. This time they hand it off to Andrew Bedard, who breaks out to his left side. He's got some room. He pushes forward. It's going to be close to a first down. Andrew Bedard, he hasn't been called on a lot, but when he has, he's made some big plays.
He sure has. And you know what? Take a look here. This is one of the reasons why they have so much. Oh, this is the interception, sorry. He's got a guy coming across the middle, but he's got 3 linebackers sitting there waiting for him. So like you mentioned, with that many gold jerseys buzzing around, not sure if that's the best guy to be thrown to. Might have wanted to go to one of the hooks on the outside or something like that. Great job coming up with the interception there.
So 1st and 10. And the play is called dead right away. We'll see what the call is with 7 seconds to go in the third. St. Joseph's with a big 19-7 lead. Still a 2-possession game, and really that's where they've kept the game, or where they've kept the lead all day. ever since the second quarter, really.
Yeah, and there's another penalty on the defense. Again, we talked about usually if it's before the snap, it's on the offense. Now, because there's no 1 yard neutral zone, the second that defense jumps, they're pretty much on top of the offense. It's automatic, whistle dead, and an easy 5 yards for the offense.
So one more play before we go into the final quarter. They hand off to Bedard again, but he's taken down rather quickly. And it'll probably be about 2nd and about 6. And they'll switch sides as we enter the 4th quarter. So, you know, you think that because St. Joseph played this well all year, did you really think they'd be able to have a 19-7 lead in the NOSSA semifinals over a Sudbury team who was dominant all year on their own end?
And not just all year. This Sudbury team, I believe, has been undefeated for the last 2 seasons. They've been the Sudbury champs. Now, you know, you talk to a lot of people, or I spoke to a lot of people before the game, and it was sort of a split down the middle as to who they thought the advantage was to, or who they thought the favorite team was. A lot of people saying, again, such a strong Sudbury team coming down. Sudbury in the OFC football, very, very strong. Beat North Bay in both of our matchups this past summer. So a lot of people saying Sudbury was the team to beat. Obviously a bigger city, more students, a bigger pool, bigger talent pool. So a lot of people saying that. However, Sudbury hasn't played in the NOSSA playoffs for the last few years. So then you got to wonder. And when they were in the NOSSA playoffs, they weren't able to get by North Bay. So you got to say, well, did North Bay have the advantage there? So, yeah, you know, both teams, good arguments on both sides for who would have the advantage. I'm very surprised to see it's a 2-score game for Scollard. I thought it would have been a little bit closer either way.
And also, it's a 2-score game because of the errors, let's say, Benedicts made. And there's a throw, and it's complete. It's caught. That looks like that's Gregory Gravel with the reception there. So that's the first completed pass by Rayner all day, and it comes in the 4th quarter. And they're going to move the chains, and it's going to be a 1st and goal here.
Yeah, you know, it's a good, smart play call. It's a nice, easy hitch pass. Nothing fancy, nothing downfield. You see the Benedicts defenders backing off the second the ball snapped. So you take that cushion, you go with a quick hitch pass to the receiver, and it's a good pass for Rayner, too, because he hasn't thrown many balls. So a nice, easy hitch pass. You're not asking him to do a whole lot with his arm here. Might be starting to tighten up a little bit because he hasn't had a chance to use a whole lot of it.
1st and goal, ball near the 8-yard line, and this time they're going to hand it off, and Bedard's got room on the outside. He's trying to break in. He's tackled near the goal line. I don't think he's got it, but it was close.
What a good job of following his blockers. You see him go to turn up earlier. He sees a wall of yellow jerseys, so he cuts it back out to the outside. Here it is here. He snuggles right in behind Baudouin, and he says, you know what, there's another blocker here to my left. I'm going to bounce this a little bit wider. A lot of guys, as soon as they get the ball, they turn on the jets, and they just want to accelerate right away. All of the Scollard backs very patient in letting those plays develop. And it looks like we've got 2 Scollard Bears down here. A couple of guys from the backfield, both Baudouin and Bedard down on a knee.
Which is unfortunate for those guys, because they've been 2 of the better blockers and obviously 2 of the big runners as well. But yeah, a great run there by Bedard to get them right near the goal line. And this is how they scored their 2nd touchdown back in the 2nd quarter. Was they had a goal line stance. It took them 3 tries, but Baudouin finally pushed it through.
Yeah, and it looks like they probably won't have Baudouin, their big power back, which is who they'd like to go to this close to the goal line. So he's going to come up for a play, and now they're going to, Coach Whittett's going to go from one player right to the next injured player, get some water into the guys on the field.
And again, it could just be the wind being knocked out of them. Again, it is a very sunny day. I don't see them getting overheated or anything, but they're certainly going to need a meal after the game. And, well, we want to thank Greco's on Lakeshore Drive for feeding our crew today. Get down at Greco's for some great pizza and other things. And, yeah, like, they're still down. That's Bedard. It's probably the wind just got knocked out of him there. He's not pointing to any limbs or anything.
No, and Baudouin also looks like both of them seem to be walking okay under their own power. Bedard now just trotting off under his own power, so yeah, they should both be fine. It'll be interesting to see who they bring in now to replace both those backs, and what kind of play call do you go with. You don't have your big power backs, although we've seen that both Poeta and Brooks are more than strong enough runners. We'll see if they put them in the backfield or if they go with a different running back.
They're very capable, and it looks like it's
Brooks is taking the snap.
Is taking the snap there. Not Rayner, and Brooks calls his own number on the snap. It's a touchdown.
Great play
St. Joseph's.
You know what? You look, you see Anthony Fleury getting helped up off the ground. he might look like he got pushed back and flattened, but he did a great job of taking the speed and strength of the D lineman and bringing him down to the ground with him so he's not able to make the tackle. Fabulous strategic block. It's not a big, strong block. If you look here at number 69 or 59, sorry, he just seals the edge and takes him down, and that's a big, strong D lineman he's doing that to, opening the door for for Brooks. Great job by Anthony Fleury there to open up that hole.
You talk about it being a strategic effort there, but it was just a strategic play all around. I mean, that injury to Bodwin and Bedard allowed him. The kick is up. Artepi's got it. It's good. That injury there was pretty much a blessing in disguise. It allowed them to talk that play over. And Brooks able to punch it through and makes this a 3-possession game now, a 26-7 lead with 10:26 on the clock. And if St. Benedict's needed a score before, they really need one now.
Definitely. Still plenty of time left, but they're going to have to string together a few first downs and actually get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that they can definitely move the ball if they don't keep turning it over or hurting themselves with things like bad snaps and interceptions and whatnot.
And penalties, too.
And penalties definitely killed them on both their offense and their defense. So surprising, again, we've said it a couple times, to be seeing these kind of mistakes this late in the season. Kind of something you'd expect from a first or second game of the year, but definitely not after a long season like they have. They've got a much larger league than North Bay does. I believe it's a 10-team league as opposed to North Bay's 6-team league. So they played a few more games than Scollard has. To see the sloppiness, bit of a surprise.
And there's a kickoff. It's just a line drive kick. Respecting the speed, and good job there, I guess, by St. Joseph's to get it to, that was number 94, Justin Bell, who picked up the ball and just said, okay, I'm just going to stop right here. I couldn't go anywhere there.
Yeah, well, Bell's there for blocking. He's probably not a designed ball carrier. He's probably got decent hands. That's why they put them there. So he knows he's just going to make sure that he doesn't do what some of his teammates have done, turn the ball over, just secure the ball. He's got a pretty good field position where he already standing, and let his offense do something. Again, though, you've got Artepi showing a little versatility, a line drive kick this time as opposed to a squib or one of the high loopers to the corner.
Just over 10 minutes to go, and they hand it off. We'll get a number on who that was to in a second. Looked like Brock Barber again. He was a force to be reckoned with in the first half, and we haven't really seen him too much in the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy who's getting you 7-8 yards a carry, but being down 3 scorers, can you afford to keep doing that?
And they hand it off to Barber again, who's got some room, and he's taking, no, it took him 2 or 3 hits to take him down. I was going to say it would have been a really good play there. I think it was Bodwin on the initial tackle.
Yep.
1-for-1. Like we said, Bodwin and Barber matching each other stride for stride. And I think we got another injury. That looks like Zachary Clark on the field again. He was injured earlier. Remember, he caused the first turnover for St. Joseph's way back in the first quarter, which led to their first touchdown.
Yeah, you sure. Let's see who they bring in for him here. Oh, it looks like Anthony Fleury, who we just saw making a big block on the offensive line, going to get a play or two on the defensive line in Zach's position there. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. We did see him go down already once, so this could be an injury. I mean, in a big game like this, it's so hard to keep these guys off the field. These guys want to be out there. They want to be contributing.
Sure do.
They want to be helping their team. So, you know what? If it's an ankle or a bruise or anything like that, you get hit on there and you feel the pain, and you might want to go up for a couple of reps. But once you're on the sideline, seeing your defense out there, you want to get right back out on the field.
Yeah, especially in a game like this. Like you said, 9:02 remaining. Clark is able to walk off under his own power. Doesn't need any help. So that's clearly a good sign. Earlier we were talking about, what may have been the advantages and disadvantages, and you were talking to people in the crowd and some of the coaches. What I heard from a lot of Scollard fans was that they were worried about it being a 4-down type of game, but like we said all afternoon, that really hasn't been a big factor. We've seen maybe 2 or 3 punts combined. Other than that, it's been turnovers or touchdowns.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the few times that Scollard did get stopped, they were well within field goal range. They've been able to pick up a couple field goals as well, but you're right. It seems like points or turnovers.
Pressot with the delayed handoff. He finds Alexander Battistelli, who stopped right away. That was number 72, Tyler Bilodeau, making the tackle there. Pressot, and it looks like they're going to a no-huddle offense here.
We're going to go to instant replay. I'm not sure we have time there. He's faking the handoff to Barber, and then he comes back there to Battistelli. Nice play call considering they've gone to Barber with so much success in the past. all
So
the
they
time
go
in the world.
From the no huddle right to a throw. There's a man open. He makes the catch, launching it downfield. And look who it is. It's Christian Battistelli at the 30-yard line. And you're right. We've seen that they can move the ball, but can they score now?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see how that one developed, but Battistelli somehow again able to get in behind the Scollard defense. Let's see what they do here.
And wide open too. Prescott from the shotgun. This is where they get into the most trouble. We'll see what they can do here. He airs it out, and it's almost picked off. Oh, wow. There are only gold jerseys to be found after that pass.
Yeah, Vetteretti, one of his favorite targets. Downfield, this time though, Vetteretti covered by 3 Golden Bears. We call them Golden Bears, of course, because both teams nicknamed the Bears. So we got to distinguish by color at least. But 3 defenders all around him. Not sure if there was a better target possibly to go to on that one. He had a lot of time to make the decision.
Once again, we thank you for watching us live on TV Cogeco. We are at the Steve O'Michelle Sports Complex. This is NOSSA Semi Final football. Matthew Sugar alongside Ryan McCowan. 26-7 lead for St. Joseph's, and it's Barber who's trying to push through the hole there, but he's being tackled, and it is number 48, Nicholas Cirillo, who we've called a couple of times, and of course Jordan Bodwin again on that play. So Bodwin's got to be the star. I know there's no 3 stars like there are in hockey, but I mean he's deserving of a game ball or something. Whatever it is for football you get. Prescott backing up, looking downfield. It's into the end zone, but it's way over. That looks like Vetteretti's head there. It is Matthew Vetteretti. Way over his head. He was standing at the goal line.
Yeah, nice deep ball there, but overthrown. I'm not sure what the actual route was supposed to be. It looked like Vetteretti pulled up short, right, almost like a little hook, or a deep hook that is, whereas the ball was thrown deep as though the quarterback thought he was going to be going, keep running, keep going.
And again, miscommunication this late in the season. 26-7 Scollard Hall. Prescott again in the shotgun. He's being under pressure, but he throws it, and is it caught? No. Oh, wait, I think it is caught. That looked like number 80 there. Mitchell McCauley. I think he was able to reel that one in.
If that's a catch, it's a phenomenal catch. Let's take a look here. Lots of time, a little bit of pressure coming off the edge there. He's able to step into the throw, get it off. Great. No, it is off the ground. No, that's definitely incomplete coverage there by Jordi Artepi.
Great camera work once again, boys. So it's 26-7 with 6:59 to go in the 4th.
And here we had Barber able to rip off 7- and 8-yard gains on the ground. Still quite a bit of time left, and yet St. Benedict's choosing to go to the air. Interesting play call.
And the fact, they got to this spot on the field after a big throw, so that's what they're trying to go with. And Alexander Battistelli trying to go up the the left side of the field, but he can't do it.
Nice tackle. You see the guys coming off the ground there. Number 72, Tyler Bilodeau, and of course, number 20, Jordan Bodwin, both in on the tackle.
So the ball is near, and it must have been a penalty because look how far up they've moved.
Yeah, something.
So it must have been a defensive interference.
Could have been a face mask there, possibly.
So the ball is near the 10-yard line. Prescott is going to take it himself. He's rolling out to the right side. He's got some room. He's still up, and oh, what a hit there, right near the 4-yard line. That is number 32, Jordy Matheson. But a really good run there by Marco Prescott.
Yeah, and you're starting to see, look at this fake, great fake. He's even got the linebacker there, or the defensive end completely fooled. He gets the edge. He's got the ball in his hands like he's going to throw, but when he sees the open space he's got, why not just tuck it and run like he chooses to do? And then he puts a little bit of a move right here. Looks like that's number 10 there, or Tepe, and he continues to plow forward for a few more yards until, bam!
Oh.
What a hit.
By Jordy Matheson.
Now they're throwing a flag here, which is a bit surprising. That looked like a pretty good hit to me. Could have been calling Matheson for having his head down, leading with the head, although it looks like he made contact with the shoulder. Either way, he's going to get penalized, and it's going to move the boat. Oh, no.
It's coming against St. Benedict's.
Oh, it looks like we've got interference downfield. One of the blockers, possibly, getting called for holding or interference.
And that's got to be about the 4th or 5th big run by St. Benedict's that has come back against them.
Sure is.
Unbelievable.
So here they are. They would have been right on the goal, or on the doorstep, right along the goal line there, maybe first and goal from the 1 or the 2, and now they're outside of the 10 again.
And now there hasn't been too many penalties, like when you consider a normal game, how many there are. We'll get back to that thought in a second. Brock Barber bouncing up the middle, and he's able to push it through for about an 8-yard gain. And it's going to be close to a goal line. What I want to say was there hasn't been too many penalties. Most of them have come against St. Benedict. And so the referees haven't really been controlling the game too much. But you could argue that if you are a Benedicts fan. Barber with the ball again. He's being pushed forward, and it's in for a touchdown. Brock Barber, as you mentioned before, making about 7 or 8 yards a carry. They go to him for 2 straight plays, and he's able to run it in for just their 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you know you're not going to keep this guy out of the backfield or out of the end zone for too long. He breaks 1 tackle there, and Baudouin squeaks through, but unless you've got your whole body in front of Barber, he's just going to push forward. He's got 3 more guys on his back, and he just carries them into the backfield, showing how strong a runner he is. Yeah, just touching your point, too. Let's see if this extra point is good. There has been, it looks like, a little bit more penalties against the Blue Bears, the St. Benedicts Bears, than there has been against St. Joseph Scollard Hall. But what few penalties there have been big ones, and they've definitely hurt St. Benedict's, putting them in bad field position, taking away first downs, backing them up out of the red zone, things like that. Here showing, luckily, still able to get it in and keep this game in hand.
Yeah, relatively close.
Yeah.
They're still down by 12. It's a 2-possession game. But, you know, one big score, and you never know what can happen. I mean, that's the thing. Once you get to that 3-minute mark and the clock starts to stop.
Yeah, Frank Roca going to have to make a decision here. Is it onside kick time? Or do you have time?
Yeah, 5:41 to go. Do you have time to let Scollard Hall have the ball again?
I would be going onside. The way Scollard Hall's been moving the ball on offense. And it is. It's an onside kick.
Oh, and he's hit hard. The ball comes loose. I think it looks like St. Benedict's, who's going to recover the ball. They turn over. Oh, my goodness. And there's a player down, and that looks serious.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Huge turn of events. We got all the momentum going back here towards St. Benedict's now, going for the onside kick, able to recover it, and we look like we have a serious injury. Let's take a look at the replay here on this onside kick. Not sure if it was much of a surprise. Does a great job of squibbing it. It has to go 10 yards, which it does. Looks like number 73 there has a chance to field it. And as he's going down, 3 guys pile on. The ball kicks back. St. Benedict's able to recover it, so they're going to have possession. But we might have a bit of a delay here, depending on the seriousness of this injury.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to call for an ambulance. It looks like Tyler Metabonwin's friends and family jumping on the field there. He's covered up with a blanket, folks, and that is a pretty serious injury. I mean, you know, you don't have to be a doctor or an expert to see that that is something else.
Yeah, that's something you never want to see, especially when in such a big game. The team's come so far. I'm sure he wants to be along for the full ride. Let's just hope that this one here, it's obviously going to take him out of the rest of the season. Let's just hope it's not for an extended period of time.
So we are awaiting emergency crews.
Perfect. They're able to get him up. Nice ovation from the crowd. Looks like he's giving them a little bit of a wave. And they're going to get him down off. There you go. The big thumbs up to the crowd. Scollard Hall has done a nice job of lining up there. They're all going to give him a pat on the back there as he goes off the field. Not something you ever want to see to any athlete in any sport. That's just got to be heartbreak for him and his family and his teammates.
But you know what Scollard Hall has to do now is they got to control the game as they have all day and not let St. Benedict's climb back into this one. Right before the injury occurred, St. Benedict's was able to recover an onside kick. It's a 26-14 lead for St. Joseph's with 5:37 left on the clock in the 4th quarter. And as we said, it's a 2-possession game. But St. Benedict's is they really need to score on this drive or it could be over.
Yeah, they definitely do. And we'll have to see what kind of play calling they go with. Again, they've had huge success just pounding the ball with Barber, getting anywhere from 7 to 8 to 12 yards a carry. but this far down, they might want to go to the air, although not having as much success when going up and passing the ball.
I think, I don't have the stats with me, but I'm pretty sure it's only been about 2 or 3 completed passes, and all of them, I think, have been to Christian Battistelli. So if you're St. Joseph, you got to cover that guy. If you're Marco Pressot, you got to find somebody else. Pressot, deep, throws it. He had a lot of time in the backfield. This ball coming down near the 20, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah, very shocking to see them going. They might have seen something earlier in the game that they wanted to attack, but you know, one of the rules that I go with when I'm coaching offense is the deeper the pass, the less likely it's going to be completed. So usually the short underneath stuff, the stuff out to the outsides is what I like to go with. Surprised to see them going for the gusto on first down there.
Yeah, and they do have time. I mean, it's still 5 minutes to go in the game. They have time to throw to the sidelines and go out of bounds. There's another throw coming across the middle. I think it's picked off. It is picked off. No, it's not. The referees are waving that it's not a catch. Joel Korchesny.
He's pulling for it. He's telling him he had
Yeah.
it. We'll take a look at the replay. Again, like you mentioned, all kinds of time here, which means they got more guys in coverage. He's got what looks like an open man, and Joel does a great job of coming underneath it. And, oh, no, you do see there, it squeaks underneath them.
My goodness.
Good job there by the referee, Mr. Sweeney, for seeing that one.
And he knew it right away, too.
Oh, he sure did. He came up waving his hand saying incomplete, as much as Joel was trying to convince him otherwise.
So it's 3rd and about 10. Pressot again from shotgun. 4:40 to go in the 4th. 26-14 lead. He fakes to one side, throws to the other side, and it is dropped by number 80, Mitchell McCauley, who was wide open, but the pass was just too far in front of him for him to bring it in.
Yeah, and now they got to come up with a decision. Again, interesting play call. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, all passes when they were having so much success with the run game when they're not turning it over. And now they're going to go for it on 4th down. That's going to be a 4th and long because of all the incompletions.
I'm surprised they didn't try to run and maybe get a 3rd and 5 or something and then go for it. So 4th and 10, Pressot back to throw. It's picked off. This time there's no doubt about it. It's Jordan Ortepi, who has come up big so many times before today. And Jordan Ortepi returns it all the way into Benedict's territory.
Yeah, Jordan makes no doubt about it. He's not going to have any question as to whether or not this is a completed interception.
Yeah.
You see him drop back again, all kinds of time. Looks like he was dialed into a specific running back, Battistelli, or a receiver, and Ortepi's just there to pick it off. Not carrying it very well there. Good thing he gets to the sideline and not caught from behind and possibly knocked out. That could have been another turnover. But great job by the Scollard Bears for creating yet again another turnover. Interesting play call on that drive by St. Benedict's with all the passing.
2 picks, 3 fumbles, a load of penalties, and that summed up the day so far for St. Benedict with 3:30 to go. They hand it off to Bedard. I think the whistle was blown ahead of time. We'll see what the call is with 3:27 to go. Jordan Ortepi with a huge interception there, and you talked about how he was carrying the ball there a little bit loosely, but I mean, maybe it was just the excitement of catching that ball and trying to run it back for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's not something the defensive backs usually spend a lot of time on is ball control. Usually it's coverages and the occasional, catching, that kind of thing. But usually once they have the ball, you don't see them carrying it the best all that often. So he's talking to both teams here.
Referee John McDonald.
Yeah, doing a good job of making sure he communicates what's going on to both teams. All the referees here, offside on blue it looks like. But all the referees here done a fabulous job all season long. Oh, I see we have offside there as well as a penalty against Scollard.
So when it offsets both of them?
Well, it looks like the offside was a 10-yard penalty. Scollard's was a 5-yard. I believe it was a mouth guard penalty, believe it or not. One of the Scollard players not wearing his mouth guard, so they'll just march it up 5 as opposed to the 10.
Okay, so it's 1st and about 5 then. Near the 35-yard line. 3:20 to go in the 4th. Scollard really just trying to run out the clock, and there was a big hit there on the sideline. Poeta colliding with, it looked like number 52, Nicholas Casio. Could be completely wrong with what that number was there.
Yeah, you know what? This is a great block here. This is Poeta again just saying we might be the smaller team. You might think we're all about speed, but you see him just flying in here, and he's just going to level the defender with everything he has, showing that this game is getting down to the wire, and he's definitely not giving up, giving everything he can. And this is something else that, again, we talk about the speed and the athleticism of these 4 backs that they use, but they do such a good job of helping one another out. And that defender's still down. Looks like, yeah, it is number 53, actually. Number 53, Jacob Carlos. So let's hope he's okay. But what a whacky here on that block as Poeta comes flying in. But again, they do such a good job of helping one another out with the blocking. The blocking is phenomenal by both teams, especially by receivers. And you normally don't see that kind of thing from the receivers and slots. You expect the blocks to come from the linemen, of course, but when you see receivers and slot backs doing such a good job of blocking for one another, then you know good things are going to happen.
And that's also a testament to the team chemistry you have, right? It's the willingness to put your body on the line for your teammate, whether you're the running back or the wide receiver. So Jeremy Poeta doing his job, and Jacob Carlos for St. Benedict's walking off the field. So he's okay.
He's looking a little bit dizzy still.
Yeah, just a bit, eh? And after that last injury we saw, you know, every time a trainer has to come out, I'm sure they're fearing the worst. But yeah, I'm sure Tyler Metawabin is doing fine now. And he's cheering on his Scollard Hall team. He's got a 2-possession lead with 3 minutes to go. They're trying to run out the clock here and claim this NOSSA Semi Final victory at home at the Steve Omichel Sports Complex. They pitch it out to Bedard again. Bounces off one tackle, but there's only Blue Bears in the way, so he just goes down. And really, when you get to this point, it doesn't really matter to you how many yards you get as long as you're taking time off the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no doubt there. I don't expect to see anything fancy with the play calling or even with the effort so much as it's just going to be ball control and ball security at this point. Don't turn the ball over, run the ball, chew up as much clock as you can. You're going to see Scollard in the huddle a little longer than usual. They're going to get to the line, they're going to let that clock tick down as much as they can and just start chewing up clock. It's not even so much about first downs now as it's just taking up time.
And they took up a lot of time getting back to the line of scrimmage there. 2:35 to go. And it's going to be an offside call, but we'll see whether it was the defense or the offense who moved first. It looks like it was number 60 for St. Benedict's. That's Emilio from Meta. But we'll see if he was,
induced.
Yeah.
Very, very possible. Again, usually anytime it's before the whistle, it's usually offense, but with the neutral zone. And they're pointing it definitely against Scollard. So somebody along the line there twitched, and that pulled Emilio off. False start on the offense. Quite possibly right across from him, which would have been Anthony Fleury. We talked about him already today.
So with no 2:25 left, it's going to be 3rd and long now. But as we said, you know, this is the only drive, I think, where the Blue Bears have been able to stop Scollard Hall in the backfield, actually. Other than this drive right here, it's been all positive yardage for Scollard Hall. So we'll see what they can do on 3rd and long. They pitch it out to Brooks, who is dangling. He works to the outside. He gets around one tackle, but then there's 3 guys there to take him down and another couple guys rolling into him. He's going to be well short of a first down, and they are out of field goal range. I don't think John Whitty is going to try to kick it from this point.
No, I don't expect anything fancy. Look at him breaking tackles, though. He knows he's got a long way to go, but he's still going to do everything he can. He broke 1 tackle, takes 2 or 3 guys down, and look right here at the end, little bit. That's from the side. That's not too bad there from number 53, Kendall Reeder. But great job just by Kendall for being down there. We're looking at about 10 yards downfield, and there's an old lineman still getting downfield, still trying to help his teammate out, trying to help him get extra yards.
And Kendall, who was injured earlier, is back on the field, so he's okay.
Here's that shield punt again from Scollard.
I think this is only the 2nd punt that Scollard has had to enforce all game. This one is down, and they're trying to back up, There's a flag on the play. It's going to be the no yards. And Christian Battistelli gets a big break. There's a flag in the backfield, and he's going to make some moves all the way up to the center, up to the 50. And it's finally taken out of bounds near the 45-yard line by number 53, Kendall Reeder.
Yeah, and actually Eric Rayner there also looked like getting in on the tackle as well. Quarterback helping his team out, helping his cause out. But a huge return and a couple of huge blocks. You see there's a no yards penalty there. He's going to come around the corner and bam, you just see one of the Scollard players going flying. He's not going to be making any tackles, and he's in open field here, 27, making all kinds of things happen. That's Brandon Hadlow. Look at the speed of this. This is in slow motion. He's still looking fast. And sure enough, look at that. There's Rayner. He's the one that actually wrangles him and slows him down, forces him to the sidelines. Again, good coaching. Knows the sidelines are his friends. If he gets him out of bounds, it's as good as a tackle. And then here's a lineman, of all people, hustling downfield.
Kendall Reeder,
help him make sure he gets out of bounds.
What a great run there by Hadlow. I thought it was Battistelli. I thought that looked like 2-2, but apparently it was 2-7. So Hadlow with a huge return. That's exactly what St. Benedict's needed. 1:39 to go. They got to score quick, and they got to get the ball back in their position. He's looking at Christian Battistelli, and it's a huge completion there. This time it is Battistelli who runs it all the way out near the 20-yard line. That's about a 30-yard gain on the throw. Great play there by Pressod.
Yeah, and you know what? This didn't really fool anybody, but the defense that they had called, the defensive end was responsible for the leaking out player. And anytime you got a defensive end in coverage and not rushing the quarterback, that's going to be an advantage to the offense. Again, he dropped back. Nice try to try and cover it, but the quarterback able to drop it in behind him.
Pressod fakes the handoff, and he hands it off to Barber, who's barreling through. He's got one man to beat. He's taken down right near the goal line. Brock Barber with a huge run, and they are going for it right away. They are not taking a time to huddle up. I think they're just trying to catch a Scollard Hall defense off guard as Pressod is telling his team what to do here.
Yeah, they're going hurry up offense. They're going to try and punch it in real quick.
Barber in the backfield along with Alexander Battistelli, and it's Battistelli who gets it, who's going forward. Does he have it? It's a touchdown. Just like that, it took them 3 plays to go from the 50-yard line to the end zone. And you got to wonder, where was all that all game?
Yeah, it's amazing what St. Benedict's can do with the ball when they're not shooting themselves in the foot with penalties or turnovers, and even set up beautifully by a huge special team play, which we've seen earlier. Unfortunately, every single one of those seem to be called back because of penalties. Look what happens when they're not getting penalties called on them. They're able to punch it in at will, making this a very interesting finish.
And the snap, the kick, and it almost looked like it got blocked there. But it is good. Put 7 points on the board. It is a 26-21 game. Hold on to your hat, folks. I think we got a ball game with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go.
Yeah, St. Benedict saying, this one is not over yet. We are still alive. Great job by punching it in. Although, I don't know if you saw it, it seemed that the exchange again on that touchdown run, or at least on the one that set it up, the one to Barber, a low exchange. Barber was almost corralling that exchange down on his hip. Good job by him by pulling that in, getting himself right down to the 1-yard line so that his teammate Battistelli could punch it in.
And you just got to wonder, if not for those miscommunication errors, how far ahead would Sudbury have been? I don't want to knock the Scollard Hall defense, but you've seen what the St. Benedicts Bears can do when they're not shooting themselves in the foot, as you said. So it might have been a completely different game if not for some, let's credit the Scollard Hall defense for the pressure that they've been able to put on them all afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a smart play here. Usually the referees would give them a little bit of a grace period in between special teams or setting up the kicking game. Scollard now is taking a timeout. They want to make sure there's no doubt about who's going to be on the field for this. No surprise, no shock, nothing sneaky here. We all know this is going to be an onside kick. St. Benedict's already recovered one of them.
Yeah.
And they had to take out Tyler Meditawabin on a stretcher after the onside kick. So Scollard's definitely going to make sure they've got someone else in his place. And more than likely, we'll see the ball going back into that same area because they had success with it the first time.
And while we have a quick second here, we want to say thanks again to SMS Rents for the scaffolding, which our cameramen are standing on. Thanks for bringing it to bring you all the action today. And, of course, for Greco's on Lakeshore Drive for feeding us today, providing some great meals for our crew. So here we go. There's the onside kick attempt, and it's actually touched. It's touched, and there's a flag. I don't think it got the 10 yards necessary, but it was kicked. It looked like number 90, Madison Boren. So we'll see what the official call is here, and if it goes against St. Benedict's.
Here we go. We got this, the onside kick. Not sure if it went 10 yards. Right here, yes, it touches one of the St. Benedict's players. Now that's a penalty. Number 20 has a shot of recovering it. Wouldn't have counted. It pops right up in the air into the steady hands of Jordan Baudouin. Again, smart by putting a fullback / linebacker type guy on the field there. Had St. Benedict's recovered it, I don't think it would have been their ball anyways because it was touched before it went 10 yards by one of their players. So that penalty, of course, will be declined, seeing as how Scollard recovered it. And Scollard will look like they'll have a chance to run this clock out with possession of the ball.
And that's the funny thing about these AstroTurf fields is, you know, you can never predict which way a football is going to bounce. Not like a basketball or a baseball maybe, but when you have a football on an AstroTurf field like this, there's no telling where it's going to go. And unfortunately for Madison Boren, he ended up kicking the ball. So it is going against St. Benedict's. And with just over a minute left to go in this game, in the NOSSA semifinals, St. Joseph's Scollard Hall will have the ball, and they have a 5-point lead. And that may be the scary thing right now. It's only a 5-point lead. That means St. Benedict's, they have to score a touchdown.
They sure do. And what's real interesting is now I believe they both saw, or sorry, St. Benedict's has 2 timeouts, but it's 4-down football. So they've added it down, but they didn't add a timeout. So St. Benedict's is only going to be able to stop the clock twice.
And as we know, after 3 minutes, it's the clock starts right after the ball's whistled in. They hand it off. That looks like Brooks under that pile up there.
Look at the size of some of these St. Benedict's players. And
there's Bedard.
Yeah. And that's number 60 there, Emilio Frometta. We've called his name a few times today. Again, playing both ways for a big man like that. Nothing but heart and determination to be on the field that much. And sure enough, we got the timeout called by St. Benedict's. They're going to do what they can to try and preserve as much time on the clock. But that's real interesting, the way that they've done these rules. They're sticking with the Canadian rules of only having 2 timeouts. But when you add the extra down to the game, it changes it completely. The whole idea behind the timeouts and the downs is that if you have 4 downs, you get 3 timeouts, so that at any given possession, you've got enough timeouts to stop the clock every single time to try and get the ball back. Now here they've kind of messed themselves up by adding that down and not giving themselves an extra timeout. So Scollard, I assume, will do run, 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 keep that clock running, and after the second one, then after the third one, St. Benedict's won't be able to stop the clock. So we'll see how that plays out.
You're right about that. And I mean, Rayner's only thrown the ball about 3 times, so I don't think they're going to go to throwing it anymore this game.
Yeah.
It's been the 4 guys, Bedard, Brooks, Poeta, and Baudouin, that have really carried the load today. But you got to also credit the defense for all the pressure they've been able to put on St. Benedict's. With 1:03 to go, St. Joseph's is just that much time away from going to their first NOSSA final since the late 80s. And Brooks breaks out to the outside. And after all that ground he gained, he may have only moved the chains about 2 yards there, but there is a flag on the play. And we'll see who this goes against. A good run there by Brooks.
And it looks like, talking to St. Benedict's Bears, this is going to go against Scollard. Not sure what the call was. We'll have to get that from the ref. Looks like they're consoling Anthony Fleury. Maybe a holding call. I'm not too sure. What's interesting now, though, is that penalty. Here, let's take a look at it. We're going to have a bit of a seal there. They faked the lead, and then a real nice job on the end around. Nice enough fake again that they faked out our cameraman.
Yeah.
It's gone a sweep in the far direction. Can't really see what the penalty is there. You see Ted St. Jean out blocking there, number 52, the center. And again, such a good job by the big man, the linemen getting downfield to help block. Usually when linemen, they do their blocking 2-3 yards downfield, but anytime you see a lineman running downfield, that's a good job by them.
It sure is, and the linemen have done a great job all day. 57 seconds left in this game. Can Scollard punch their ticket to the NOSSA finals? There's the pitch outside. It's Poeta, who's got a touchdown already today, and he's moving forward. He's at the 50, the 45, and this may do it. I think Scollard Hall is going to the NOSSA finals. Jeremy Poeta with a huge run there, finally goes out of bounds. But with St. Benedict's only having 1 timeout remaining, and we're playing 4-down football, that is all she wrote. St. Joseph's is going to win this game.
They sure are, and what a fabulous job. He had a convoy of blockers, and the one or two guys that did make it through to try and tackle him, Poeta just said, not today, not happening. I'm getting this first down. Hugs all around. Real interesting. You see him trying to stay in bounds to keep that clock moving, but once he's got the ball, don't worry about it, Jeremy, because you've got another set of 4 downs. You got more than enough time now to run out that clock, and it looks like Scollard Hall will move on. An offensive coordinator's favorite play call, the victory formation, take a knee, run the clock out.
So with 25 seconds left, they'll have to do this twice. There's one. And now the St. Joseph Scollard Hall Bear fans are getting loud, cheering on their boys. St. Benedicts, it looks like they didn't call their last time out. I think they've already used it. The clock is counting down, and it's been years since Scollard Hall was there, but the drought will finally end today, and they will get to play the finals on Steve Omichel Sports Complex with 4 seconds left to go. That will do it, and that is it. It is over. St. Joseph Scollard Hall is going on to the NOSSA Finals for the first time since the late 80s. They defeat St. Benedicts 26-21 on a beautiful day here at Steve Omichel Sports Complex. What a game for Scollard Hall. You got to credit the defense for all the turnovers. You got to credit the offense for able to match up pound for pound against this giant Sudbury team.
Definitely, and at the end of the day, it was turnovers and mistakes by St. Benedict's that was their undoing. You saw when they didn't create the penalties, they didn't create the turnovers or force the turnovers, that they were able to move the ball, they were able to score, but just too many mistakes by a veteran team came up to bite them, and Scollard, kudos to them, making St. Benedict's pay for every single one of those turnovers by punching it in and scoring each and every time. Congratulations to Scollard Hall and all the players and coaches to that program. You know, when I was in high school, we had 2 goals. 1, be playing football in November. Only the elite teams play football in November. And 2, win the last game of the season. The only way to do that is to go right to the end. So congratulations, Scollard still has a chance to do that.
They are 8-0 on the season. They've got one more big game to play to try and make it a perfect season. And I mean, people would have said it's already a perfect season, winning the NBA title for the first time since 2006. You see them right now, they're going to line up at center field. Good show of sportsmanship by these teams. I'm glad that they still enforce this rule. But like we said, Scollard Hall going to their first NOSSA Semi Final since the NOSSA Finals for the first time since the late 80s. Trying to make it a 9-0 season. And there's still room to grow from here.
Oh, there sure is. I mean, there were enough mistakes there by both teams, even for Scollard, that they got a few things that they can do.
We want to thank you so much for watching NOSSA Semi Final Football live on TV Cogeco. Matthew Sukram alongside Ryan McGowan saying good afternoon, and we'll see you next week.